Hello, and welcome to the next instalment of the Barbican Young Reviewers, and I'm at the London International Animation Festival, and it's just kicked off tonight. The plan is that we're going to head in there, check it all out, I'm going to mull it over and think of some useful stuff to tell you tomorrow. So the opening gala last night can be split into three separate parts. The first part consisted of Nag Vladimirsky, the festival director, giving an overview of what the festival is about and what it will contain. He's keen to stress that putting on the festival every year is basically a year-long occupation, and when you get into the numbers, it's clear to see why. Nag and his team watch around 2,400 short animated films every year. They then whittle down to around 128 films that they actually show at the festival, with artists represented from 36 different countries. Over the course of the festival, there's around 20 separate occasions at the Barbican Centre when you can go and view the films that they've shortlisted. From there, the basic premise is that a panel of experts, as well as audience members like you and me, can vote on what we see, and those votes shape the best of the fest. For part 2, Nag stepped off the stage and the curtains were drawn back, and we were treated to 5 specifically curated films to give us a flavour of what the rest of the festival is going to contain in terms of subject matter and quality. We firstly saw a film called Little Grey, which charts the story of a middle-aged grey Bob dealing with his middle-aged malaise and trying to find colour in his life. We then went on to watch a short film called Blind Vaisha, which tells the story of a little girl who can only see the past out of her left eye and the future out of her right eye, and her nightmarish pursuit to view the present is underscored by an animated drawing style that's reminiscent of Edvard Munch and the German Expressionists. The pick of this first bunch, however, was called Private Parts by Anna Ginsberg, which comically and poignantly exposes the lack of female pleasure in modern society as animated vaginas and penises talk about their sexual experiences and preferences. Just hearing about that diverse run-through hopefully gives you a flavour of what's probably best about the animation festival, the sheer variety of content and voices and subject matter that's being addressed, and of course the mesmerising technical craft. The third part of the evening was dedicated to the BAFTA-nominated Christopher Shepherd, and just from the way that he was introduced to the crowd, it was clear that he is a festival favourite. In a retrospective of his work, we watched 5 separate films and watched the way in which he fuses comedy and dark domestic situations and integrates animated elements into real-world settings. The autobiographical Ringer, for example, presents the coming together of father and son after 20 years of separation. The father, knowing not much about his son, only that he's an animator, pitches the idea for a film, The Ringer. It's an animated film that has a gun-slinging gangster as its central character. The animated sections nestle well within the realistic narrative, and whilst they provide comic relief at times, they also add extra depth to the central storyline as the son begins to realise what's motivated his father's absence for all these years. After the screenings, Christopher Shepherd took to the stage himself with fellow members of his crew from his latest production, Jono's Dead. After watching this, I recommend that you head over to the Barbican website and examine all the different events associated with the London International Animation Festival. On top of that, I'd recommend going onto Vimeo and looking up all the directors that I've mentioned in this video so you get a flavour of the power of these short films and also of the technical craft going on at the festival. Thanks very much for listening. I've been Ed Price.